Hello everybody. So today we got some good news. The Strike IPO went well and Saylor was able to raise $584 million, which is 2.33 times more than what he had hoped for. And in order to get more, he was able to give a discount. He gave a discount to earn much more. And so this is the way it works usually for IPOs. You don't really know what the market interests are. You don't really know what they're going to be priced at. He was thinking 100. 100 is a nice round number. The initial offering was supposed to be $100 per strike share, right, for $250 million initially total. But via a bidding process, Saylor was able to actually strike the optimal scenario, and it's all about supply and demand. And it turns out the optimal scenario was to drop the price in order to raise more, and it's all about a trade-off. This is the equilibrium that he found, and of course they have to do per fiduciary duty. They have to do what's best in the best interest of the firm. So in the best interest of the firm was to drop the price by 20%. So instead of 100, you are selling it still for 100, but you're getting 80. So you give a 20% discount on the 100, but in exchange for that you raise $334 million more than anticipated. This is no different from a retailer giving a discount to sell more stuff, a restaurant running a special. This is no different. If you run a special, you're going to sell 2x, perhaps 3x more of that product. This is elasticity at work. It's all about finding the optimal spot between supply and demand, and I trust that he did, and $80 seems more than a fair price, because actually he made it very juicy for the investors, because with a strike preferred selling at 80, they're now effectively getting a 10% yield. The conversion price is also still 10% of one MicroStrategy share valued at $1,000. Therefore, it's a $100 conversion price, which means that nobody would elect to convert right now, because right now MicroStrategy is trading at 347. So you do 347 times 10%. The current floor, the current conversion option value on there is $34. So of course nobody is going to take on that offer, and no conversions happen anytime soon. Now, if you remember my last video, I told you with 8%, with the yields dropping where I think they're going to drop from 0 to 1%, that's probably a 30-40% increase in the price of strike just from the yield in interest rates. Now, since these are yielding 10% now, I expect perhaps a 50-60% increase in the price of strike when the yields actually end up reaching 1% or 0.5%, like I think they will. I think the long yields will drop. When yields drop, fixed income securities go up. It's the nature of this. And so more explosive upside is built into this, in that you now have a 10% instrument, and you may have a 10% instrument 3 years from now when the interest rates at the Fed are super low. Of course, no financial advice. So I'm really happy with what I see here. Of course, there's two ways to look at this. If you've been hanging out on Twitter, especially yesterday evening, you saw a lot of people panic on Twitter and saying, Saylor's issuance of the preferred is not doing well. They're only getting 80. They're not doing well. And really, there's really two ways to spin this. He had to give a discount. And so Barron spun it the negative way. MicroStrategy new preferred yield 10% as stock sells at a discount. That sounds really bad, right? Or you could spin it in a positive way. MicroStrategy raises $363 million from oversubscribed stock offering. It goes back to my thumbnail. What do you prefer? Do you prefer to raise 2.3 times less without a discount, or do you prefer to give a 20% discount to raise 2.3 times more? I think most savvy business owners will agree to a 20% discount if you more than double your sales. This is essentially what we did. Although I still think the Barron's article will get more views, because fear for clicks gets you more views than hopium for clicks. Believe me, I know that with YouTube. And so this is incredibly bullish for me. This is incredibly bullish because he's raising 584. He was supposed to raise 250. He's rating 584. The streak or further subscriptions for the MSTR issued securities, whether it is the convertible bonds, whether it is the renewed interest in the ATM of MSTR stock, and whether it is now the preferred shares, this excitement around the financial products on MicroStrategy and on the MicroStrategy strategy, this excitement is alive and well in my view. And so price to NAV, quick comment on the price to NAV. So right now, because we don't know what buy they're going to do, I'm just going to guess in a second, but right now with their 471,000 Bitcoin on the hodl bag, the stock is trading at a 1.76 price to NAV. Very cheap compared to what we've seen it even within the past 3 months. Now, what if you assume that they are actually going to, turn around? There's going to be fees, so it's not going to be 584, but for the sake of its simplicity, let's assume the money they get is 584 in the bank. Let's assume they go ahead and buy 5,562 Bitcoin. That would give you a price to NAV of 1.74. And you may remember from my Monday video, he highlighted in that statement here, he highlighted that there still was 836 million of excess cash on the balance sheet. Now, maybe some of that cash is going to be kept for first coupon payment. I don't really know if it's all going to be spent within next week, the next few weeks, how much is for the legacy business. But anyways, for the sake of simplicity, once again, let's assume this 836 million of cash get also turned into Bitcoin. That'd be nearly 8,000 more Bitcoin added. And actually, it gets you to a price to NAV of a 1.72, 1.727. My spreadsheet here says a 1.73. And the price target, again, the stock I'm as bullish as ever before. This is my model that you can get the full numbers on the Patreon, but I don't show past 2030 because the numbers get really nutty and crazy, and I'm trying to keep this channel serious. This is not investment advice. This is not financial advice. As you know, this is an entertainment channel, so I guess I could show you, but it gets well into the 10,000s if you get past 2030. Not financial advice, not investment advice, just entertainment. Hoping you were entertained. And please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.